bit frustrated with maybe some of the DR Congo staff members. Could you give us an update on what happened there?
During all the penalty decision, a guy of Congo did some voodoo.
Yeah, everyone, welcome to Game Zone. Welcome to Game Zone. So today we're gonna be talking about the Afcon, and we're also gonna be talking about the World Cup qualifiers. We're gonna be talking about the FIFA rankings. So just stay in tune because there's so many things to talk about. I don't know, for some reason South Africa is complaining. Nigeria is crying. DR Congo is celebrating. It's just insane, man. It's just insane. So yeah, just chill around for a minute, and yeah, we're gonna be talking about this. So perfect. Okay, so we're gonna first start off with wow, what a game by DRC. Okay, what a game by DRC, and I just wanted to basically just touch point on the incredible game that they played. Okay, DRC played one of the most beautiful football that we have ever seen. Okay, they played. Listen, the problem with Nigeria, right? The problem with Nigeria is not that it's not that they are weak. Nigeria is a very strong team. However, when it comes to collective teamwork, they are not the best. Let's be honest. Nigeria has great players. For me, I think that Nigeria's team is one of the best teams in the world. Okay, like just in terms of individual talent. Okay, when you talk about your Osimhen, your Osimhen can go to teams like your Manchester United. He can basically go to anywhere. Your Lookman, African Player of the Year. So these guys are really talented. But the problem is when it comes to coordinating, team chemistry. It's like when you're playing Ultimate Team, right? When you're playing Ultimate Team and you're trying to play players in different positions, right? And these players are not. You can see that the chemistry is not there. That's what's exactly happening to Nigeria. But then what I've actually learned is that Nigeria is gonna build something great. Okay, I don't know what it is, but then after this, trust me, man, I've been hearing about the NFF corruption, what's happening. So these guys better sort themselves out, because if the government can sort out that, I feel like Nigeria is gonna be, they're gonna be up for revenge, and every African team must be on the lookout. I don't know with the Afcon, because the Afcon is only like less than a month away now. So I do feel like in the coming future, Nigeria will be very strong, and there'll be a tough team to beat as well. But however, though, let's not talk about Nigeria anymore, because yes, we are talking about the DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo. So basically, DRC has been playing one of the best football in the continent, and I do feel like if they do go to not even if I know they will go to the World Cup, and they just need to concentrate when it comes to the last game of the playoff, and whichever wins, because now they're either gonna face New Caledonia or they're gonna face Jamaica, so they really need to concentrate, and I do feel like for them coming with this Afcon, they actually need to keep their heads up, because as they're playing the Afcon, right, either Jamaica or New Caledonia, they're gonna be watching them play. Okay, they're gonna be watching every movement of each and every player. So if I was DRC, they better be prepared, because after the Afcon ends, these two teams, whichever goes to the final to face them, will know DRC in and out because of the Afcon. So that's the only downside about the Afcon. The Afcon will expose DRC's position, will expose DRC's gameplay. So DRC needs to be smart, and they need to try and figure out a way that their players do not become too predictable, just like the way they played with Nigeria, right? So yeah, man, I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy because the DRC has suffered a lot. The DRC has suffered a lot, and as you guys know, DRC has been going through tough times, and yeah, I'm actually happy. So now the next one is in case you guys don't know, the reason why actually even DRC has been great so far in the past few years is because obviously because of the new coach. But then apart from the new coach, DRC also, their president is a big fan. You see, so this is what happens, right? If you've got a president who's a big fan of the national team, trust me, I do feel like that president is gonna sacrifice a lot, right? That president is gonna sacrifice a lot in terms of infrastructure around the around the team. So, for example, he's pouring in thousands and thousands. Why? They need to get in the right training equipments, player recovery, right? Nutrition, all these kind of things, salary, right? There were rumors that the president was gonna give, or the federation was gonna give players $1 million each, but I don't know. Uh, that has been kicked out of the camp because apparently that's not true. But all these kind of things, right? That's what helps a national team good, okay? And in my opinion, I feel like Nigeria and every other African team should basically be following DRC's footprint. And apart from that, also, you guys need to get a good coach, okay? Nigeria, you guys need to have a nice coach, a really good coach who's going to be able to be like, you know what, if I'm taking care of this national team, if I take it right now, I want to be here in the next 10 years, okay? I want to be able to get academy players. I want to be able to get young players, develop them, and, make them to be the players that, can compete, on the world stage, for example, like the World Cup and the Afcon. You see, so all these things need to also be put into perspective. So we're gonna now talk about let's see. So there's actually news, yeah. There's actually news. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the DRC again, dude. I don't know what's been happening to the DRC recently, guys. Congo is very angry. I don't know. Congo is very very angry. So Congo now, they're actually calling a boy called Godwill Kukonki. I don't know if you guys you have seen him, right? He plays for Manchester United Academy. I think he plays for the under 21s, and he also plays for the under 18s. Now, mind you, this boy is only 17 years old, right? So there's actually great news that the DRC have approached him to come and play for the national team. Now, mind you, he's only 17 years old. He was supposed to be called up for the England under 18s World Cup, but then they didn't call him. So now we're just waiting for confirmation from his side. Okay, from my perspective, I would say he should come and join the national team. Right? He shouldn't make mistakes like Wan-Bissaka did and Twanzebe and all these players, because these guys not they came and joined the DRC very late. Now imagine if these guys joined DRC when they were like in their early 20s, because now they are old now. Twanzebe and Wan-Bissaka, they are old, right? But Kukonki, for me, I see Kukonki as a replacement for Chancel Bemba in terms of longevity, right? In terms of longevity, I see Kukonki the best replacement for Chancel Bemba, because if you think about it, this boy is 17 years. So by the time he gets to at least 34, 35. So that means that he'll be playing for the national team at least for the next 17 years. Mind you, he's going to be playing for the national team at least for the next 17 years. So this boy is still young, and he's very big, bro. Like, he's tall, right? He's like 6'5". He's 5. He's a big dude. So if he can come and play for the national team while he's still young like this, trust me, man, it's gonna be the biggest signing that I don't know the DRC has ever like got for me, like in recent history. Because to get a player that young, especially as a defender, I think it's gonna be really massive. And if he does make his choice just before the Afcon, if let's just say he says yes, he's gonna play in the Afcon and he's also gonna play in the World Cup. So just imagine that. And he's only 17. He plays in the Afcon and he plays in the World Cup. Trust me, after playing that tournament, especially in the Afcon, he's going to be challenging to want to play in the Manchester United first team. Even though we know that Manchester United's first team is really, really, is really strong, right? But at least, he will want to get some minutes. If he doesn't want to get some minutes, then trust me, bigger clubs and other clubs as well will come and, want to get his signature, because he's got another experience. He can play, international, right? International is all that counts. So I don't know. If I'm Kikonki right now, I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm going to the DRC no matter what. So now we're gonna be talking about the FIFA rankings. Let's look at the FIFA rankings for a little bit. Okay, so if we look at the FIFA rankings, so we're going with number 1. That's gonna be Morocco. They are 12. okay, in globally. Okay, Senegal, that's second. Okay, they are 18th globally. Okay, and then there are then there is Egypt, which is 36th globally, and then we've got Ivory Coast the fourth, Nigeria the fifth. I don't know, for some reason though, how is Nigeria 38th, even though they lost? You see, this is when I'm siding with South Africa, because Nigeria has been doing shit, right? But then make it make sense how Nigeria is still like number 38. I don't know, maybe because there were teams that were in front of them and then they dropped points. Then Nigeria, because they won against Cameroon, because I understand how FIFA ranking is. So, for example, because they played against Cameroon, Cameroon had a higher points, right? So, for example, I think Cameroon had like maybe 10 points. So, because Nigeria won, they decided to give Nigeria the whole 10 points. So, and then if there was a team in front of Nigeria, then Nigeria probably overtook that team by a couple of points, which also makes sense. Again, okay, and then we go to Tunisia, Algeria, Cameroon again, and then we go to Mali, and then we go to DR Congo. So that's the latest FIFA rankings. So now, why is South Africa complaining? South Africa is complaining because they're saying that they should be at least in the top 10. South Africa is complaining, they're saying they should be in the top 10, which actually makes sense, right? They should be in the top 10. However, though, South Africa, you guys were playing against low ranking opponents in your guys' friendlies. You guys were playing against low ranking opponents in your guys' friendlies. Like, how would you guys, because let's be honest, right? Especially with friendlies, if you played, let's say, against Brazil and you drew against Brazil, you're gonna get at least 5 points. But then you're playing teams like, you know, your Uganda, your I mean, like, you're just playing like teams which, you know, like below, and the points of you winning that, you're only gonna get like 3 points. So that's just to clarify that the FIFA ranking, right, kind of, you know, is kind of bougie. I would say it's kind of dodgy. For example, I know that Tunisia got a lot of points because they drew Brazil, right? I think they got almost like 7 points just for drawing against Brazil. So again, if you guys wanna be smart, South Africa, next time you guys should basically just play against bigger teams. Okay, play your Senegal, play, you know, your France. Man, come on, man, just go out there and, you know, just win 2 games, and you guys can probably be in the next top 10 or even in the next top 5. Okay, so yeah, that's what's gonna be, you know, debated over in the next coming few weeks, especially the Afcon is coming up. And then now, the last one now, okay, we're gonna be talking about the Afcon, which is basically next month. I would like you guys to predict, who do you guys think is gonna win the Afcon? And yeah, let's talk about, you know, just comment. Okay, comment who's gonna win the Afcon. For me, I'm giving 5 teams that are gonna win the Afcon: Nigeria, Senegal, Morocco, DRC, and let me see the last one. Let me see the last one. I can also put uh South Africa. I can also put South Africa because South Africa, they've been playing really good football, yeah. So I can put South Africa. Why am I putting this? I'm putting South Africa because South Africa has been showing, you know, some really great improvement. I don't know if you guys have been watching their football, and for the fact that they have been having only local players. Most of their squad is full of local players. So South Africa's team chemistry, when you talk about team's chemistry, you know, comes to part in this kind of games. So I'm going for that. And yeah, man, you guys, you know, just drop down, you know, your top 5 or your top 3. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Just stay tuned. We're gonna be hosting this every Thursday or every week, and I'm gonna be uploading videos. If you ever wanna come to my YouTube channel and, you know, you wanna have a video with me, just comment down below, and yeah, maybe we can be talking, because now the Afcon is approaching, so, you know, we really need to be talking about, you know, African football especially. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, man, I will see you guys next time. Cheers.